5 things you need to start doing with money. Number 1, you need to do a budget, a written plan every month. Jesus said, don't build a tower without first counting the cost, lest you get halfway up and are unable to finish. And all who see you begin to mock you and say, this man began to build and was unable to finish. Don't live your life without a plan. Zig Ziglar used to say, if you aim at nothing, you will hit it every time. My friend John Maxwell says, a budget is people telling their money what to do instead of wondering where it went. If you worked for a company called You Incorporated, and your job at You Incorporated was to manage money for You Incorporated, and you manage money for You Incorporated the way you manage money for you now, would you fire you? Don't answer that. But God very clearly, right after the parable of talents, says, boys and girls, here's how it works. When you're faithful in the little things, then you will be given more to manage. Not, I'm disorganized, immature, and I just spend money like I'm in Congress, but I pray a lot about money. It says, when I'm faithful in the little things, then. He said, Daddy, when I turn 16, we're getting me a brand new Corvette. I said, well, I'm a loving father. No. I have seen you drive, my son. You are incompetent. I love you too much to give you what you think is a blessing, but because you can't handle it, it's a curse. You will be getting an old Chevette with a tired gerbil under the hood. The second thing is, get out of debt. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. We get out of school, as Sally Mae has her own bedroom at our house. We got a MasterCard. We get a car payment. We buy a house we can't afford. We're spending money we don't have to buy stuff we don't even really need, to impress people we don't even really like. And people get so far in debt they can't breathe. And they call me up and they're like, Dave, can you get me out of this? I'm like, yeah, it's gonna hurt though. What do you mean? You're gonna have to amputate the Tahoe. You're gonna have to sell so much stuff the kids think they're next, man. You're kidding. No, I'm not kidding. You gotta stop using debt, and you gotta get out of debt, because your most powerful wealth building tool is your income. And when you give it all to someone else, because you bought stuff you really couldn't afford. By the way, if you didn't pay for it, that means you couldn't afford it. Easy payments is an oxymoron. When you don't have any payments, you got money. 100% of the scriptural mentions of debt are negative. In other words, biblically speaking, debt is stupid. It's not a sin. It's certainly not a salvation issue. It's just biblically dumb. It doesn't work. American distress. Citibank, what's in your wallet? Money. You're kidding me. Capital One. I met with thousands of millionaires, never met a millionaire who said, Dave, you know, my financial breakthrough was those airline miles. Never heard that once. And car payment will kill you. Average car payment in America right now is $526 over 84 months. Had a guy call me on the radio the other day from Texas. He's like, Dave, my truck's killing me. What do you mean your truck's killing you? Oh, you owe on your truck? A lot. How much is your truck payment? $769. Dude, man, that thing's eating you alive. Yeah, man. I said, how much is your house payment? We live in a double wide, $550. Dave, you don't have any credit cards? No, this is my wallet. Green president's faces. 4 pieces of plastic, a debit card on my business, a debit card on my personal, my driver's license, and my handgun carry permit. The third one is foster high-quality relationships. You become who you hang around with. Be not deceived. Evil company corrupts good habits. Your speech patterns are like those you hang out with. The books you read are like the people you hang out with. The Bible studies you do or don't do are largely due to the people you run around with. The stuff you binge watch on Netflix is due to who you hang around with. You dress like who you hang around with. Your voice patterns, and even the dialect within the region that you hang out in. If you hang out there long enough, your accent will change. If you hang out there long enough, you become who you hang around with. Over the next 10, 15 years, your income will be within 10 to 15% of the average of your 10 closest friends' income. Kid would become a juvenile delinquent. Little Johnny down the street smoking weed, he's a weed head. You don't let your kid run around with little Johnny. Why? Your kid will be a weed head. You know that. It's not rocket science. My daughter wants to date him, but he just got saved 3 weeks ago, and pretty much he was a dope dealer before that. Like, no. Huh? Dad, all the boys in the youth group are scared of you. Good. Good. It keeps away the jerks and the wimps. You hang around people that you want to become because you're going to be like them. The fourth one is save money in the house of the wise or stores of choice food and oil. A foolish man devours all he has. If you spend everything you make, you're a fool. When you save money, you're wise, said Solomon, the wisest man ever to walk the earth. There's going to be a car wreck. There's going to be a job loss. This one I don't understand. An unexpected pregnancy. Say what? Okay. Stuff's going to happen in life, isn't it? And when you got some money and you're ready, in the house of the wise are stores of choice food and oil. And the last one is be outrageously generous because God loves a cheerful giver. And now, for those of us that are evangelical Christians, our baseline is tithing in our local church. I'm not talking about that. That's a good place to start. That's the rhythm of your life. That starts to build the character quality of generosity in your life. But I'm talking about generosity as a way of being, not just of giving money. A generous person actually in a conversation lets you talk. You ever meet those other ones? They never ask about you, but you know everything about them by the time we finish the conversation. You know what I'm talking about? Generous people don't do that. Generous people hold the door for you. Generous people pick up the items when the plastic bag had the bottom fall out of it as you're going to the car after the grocery store. The generous person runs up and helps you. They're kind, they're generous. Generous people are highly attractive. Generous people have a higher tendency to win in their marriages. No kidding. Generous people have a higher tendency to be promoted and succeed in their careers because they're just people love them. Just lovable. And it's a decision. You get to decide to get out of debt, be on a plan so that you can save money and hang out with people that are doing the same kind of thing. You put yourself in a position to be outrageously generous. You can't be outrageously generous when you're broke. You gotta clean up your mess and have a plan.